It's 5 a.m. near Yongran, not far from the North Korean border. It's see your breath cold as this remote army base awakens to fight a war that never ends. Weapons are readied, maneuvers are planned, troops deployed.
You know what to do. If it takes that hot water out the hose,
Another day of war games on the last battlefield of the Cold War. The country President Clinton on a visit called the scariest place on earth, a place President Bush says is a murderous member of the evil empire. A military stronghold where tough talk comes with the territory. Sherry, too, is a Kiowa combat chopper pilot.
This is my job to go to war, and so I never really think about it. It's always unconscious in the back of my head that it's a possibility, but if you think about it, then you would really have a hard time doing your job.
We are just 15 miles from the North Korean border, 15 miles from nearly 1 million North Korean troops who are slavishly loyal to Kim Jong-il, one of the world's most unpredictable and dangerous leaders. We're allowed to visit the border region on one of the 2 days a year that the Army's 7th Cavalry flexes its considerable muscle. Yes, it is the same air cavalry immortalized in film. In real life, they are deadly serious people. The headgear harkens back to the days when the 7th rode horses and policed the West. Today, they ride M1A1 tanks and Bradleys and Kiowas, but there's still a little bit of cowboy cockiness held over.
If it doesn't hit you, just the shock alone will incapacitate you to not want to fight anymore.
They're here because of him, Kim Jong-il, whose army is just 6 miles away and numbers a staggering 1.2 million. A mercurial figure who is building nuclear weapons. Kim rules North Korea with the iron fist of Stalin, who put his father, Kim Il-sung, in power in the 50s. His soldiers are a constant threat to U.S. troops.
Taking mortar fire, taking small arms fire, getting ambushed.
So at Camp Garryowen and all other U.S. military installations, every day is a run-up to possible war. The Korean conflict ended 50 years ago, but the U.S. never left.
Ready. Bring 3 up.
that was going hot.
On this day, the big guns are out, engaging in an imaginary battle with North Koreans who quite literally are over the next hill. This is as far north as the cavalry goes. The Rodriguez Range is less than 8 miles from the North Korean border. Depending on which way the wind is blowing, the North Koreans can hear the artillery fire. As the thunder of the M1A1 shake the mountainside, distant echoes of another generation's war seem to bounce back.
We're ready to go. Like I said, we train to be ready for combat, to fight the nation's wars, and they know we're here.
This is not a distant, unseen enemy. The choppers can see hundreds of North Korean missile batteries aiming right at U.S. bases to the south, where U.S. troops and their families number 53,000. It is a daily game of brinkmanship, where no one flinches and everyone stays on mission.
When we go out and train here, we train to fight every single time we pull pitch to go fly. There's a million guys across any border that I might have to, pull pitch and go fight against. It's any border. There's a million people that we may have to go to war with. So it's really, for me, it's no different than being anywhere else in the world.